In today's lecture of the subject Global Finance, we will go through the features of foreign trade policy. When we consider foreign trade policy, okay, what is foreign trade policy all about? Okay, see, when we consider the international trade and the activities which are conducted into international market, okay, to increase the share, particularly in respect of export, the foreign trade policy 2015-2020, okay, it aims at including make in India products, so that there are some features of this foreign trade policy. Okay, and the first feature of foreign trade policy is related to MEIS and SEIS. Okay, what is MEIS? MEIS stands for Merchandise Export from India Scheme, and SEIS stands for Service Exports from India Scheme. Okay, see, these two schemes were launched under this foreign trade policy. The service exports from India scheme, which is commonly known as SEIS, it is meant for increasing exports of notified services actually. So whenever we consider these two schemes, that is MEIS and SEIS, okay, which primarily stand for merchandise export from India scheme and service exports from India scheme, okay, both this aim at increasing exports actually. Okay, because yes, while framing this foreign trade policy itself, okay, the main aim of framing this foreign trade policy itself was to increase the export share, okay, in the world's market. So when we consider these schemes, that is MEIS and SEIS, okay, MEIS and SEIS replace multiple schemes earlier in place, each with different conditions for eligibility and usage. Incentives to be available for SES also, okay, means those incentives which are available for special economic zones, okay, they are also included in these two schemes. Then e-commerce of handicrafts, handlooms, books, etc., they are also eligible for benefits of MEIS. Okay, means who can make use of MEIS, that is merchandise export from India scheme. Yes, all those handicrafts, handlooms, books, okay, who use e-commerce, they can make use of this scheme, or they can apply for the scheme. Then export obligation, yes, it will be reduced by 25%, and incentives available under the MEIS and SEIS would be extended to the units in special economic zones to make them more attractive for investors. Okay, when we consider special economic zones, okay, they are also covered by MEIS and SEIS. Why? Because is it more and more investors, they should be attracted towards this particular zones, is it? Then special economic zones have lost their sheen after imposition of the minimum alternative tax MAT, okay, and dividend distribution tax DDT in 2012. Okay, SEZ, that is special economic zones, is it? See what has happened. Okay, they have lost their shine and all, okay, after MAT and DDT, these two taxes. Then rewards. Further, business services, hotel and restaurants would get rewards scripts under SEIS at the rate of 3% and other specified services at the rate of 5%. Okay, see, those hotels and restaurants, okay, who are particularly related to business services, okay, they would get reward scripts under special under service export from India scheme, okay, at the rate of 3%, and other specified services at the rate of 5%, okay. Then changes nomenclature of export house, starred export house, trading house, premier trading house certificate changed to 1 2 3 4 5 star export house, okay. The changes were made in nomenclature of export house, star export house, trading house, premier trading house certificate, which was changed to yes, star export house, okay. Then higher level of rewards, okay, when we consider higher level of rewards under merchandise export India scheme, okay, for export items with high domestic content and value additions was made, okay. Means when we consider this foreign trade policy, those who would do export, okay, with high domestic content and value additions, okay, they would receive higher level of rewards under MEIS. Then reduction export obligation under EPCG scheme reduced to 75% to promote domestic capital goods manufacturing, okay. See, previously what was happening, yes, export obligation under EPCG scheme, yes, it was reduced up to 75%, okay. Why this was done? Yes, to promote domestic capital goods manufacturing, okay, for manufacturing of domestic capital goods, okay, particularly to promote this, yes, the EPCG scheme, it was reduced, okay. The export obligation under EPCG scheme, it was reduced to 75%, okay. Then initiatives, okay, see, foreign trade policy to be aligned, okay. This foreign trade policy, it was aligned to Make in India, Digital India and Skill India initiatives, okay. When we consider foreign trade policy, okay, when we consider the foreign trade policy, particularly to promote the three different schemes, that is Make in India, Digital India, Skill India, is it, to promote this itself, okay, this particular foreign trade policy, it was aligned, okay. Then transferable, see, duty credit scripts made freely transferable and usable for payments of custom duty and service tax, okay. See, the duty credit scripts, okay, they were made freely transferable, okay, means they were free to transfer actually and to use also for the payments related to custom duty and service tax. Then the promotion, export promotion mission to take on board state governments, okay. See, the promotion actually, particularly in respect of export, okay, export promotion mission, yes, it would take on board state governments. Then the support agriculture and village industry products to be supported across the globe at rates of 3% and 5% under MEIS, okay. When we consider agriculture and village industry, okay, see, usually what happens is, okay, though agriculture is the primary occupation of our country, is it, and other businesses, other industries, they are dependent upon this primary industry. Still, what happens is, okay, it is, or it was a less focused, or it was a ignored section or sector, is it. So to promote the products related to agriculture and village industry, okay, to support them across the globe, okay, under MEIS, okay, to support this agriculture and village industry products, okay, the rates were, yes, from 3% and 5%, okay. industrial products Industrial products to be supported in major markets at rates ranging from 2 to 3%. Okay, industrial products, they were also supported through the scheme. Okay, how it was supported? Yes, major markets at the rates ranging from 2 to 3%. Okay, they were supported in the major market at the rate ranging from 2% through to 3%. Okay, then the incentives under the new 5-year trade policy, the government will provide incentives to e-commerce companies exporting products from sectors that create jobs. Okay, under the 5-year trade policy, that is this foreign trade policy, the government will provide incentives to e-commerce, okay, those who conduct the transactions through the use of electronic mode, okay, to this e-commerce companies, okay, who will involve themselves into exporting products from sectors that create jobs, okay. They were provided with the incentives from the government, okay. Then the benefits: firms that export goods through courier or foreign post office using e-commerce of freight on board value up to rupees 25,000 per consignment will be entitled for rewards under MEIS. Okay, see, those firms who exports who export goods through courier or foreign post office, okay, by making the use of e-commerce, okay, of freight on board, okay, the value up to rupees 25,000 per consignment will be entitled for rewards under MEIS. Okay, then see, specific measures will be taken to facilitate the entry of new entrepreneurs and manufacturers in global trade through extensive training program. Okay, see, more and more entrepreneurs and manufacturers, how they will get involved into global trade, okay. Yes, they will be provided with extensive training programs, okay. Then the Niryat Bandhu scheme, okay, will be revamped to achieve these objectives and also further dovetailed with the ongoing outreach programs. Okay, see, the Niryat Bandhu, the scheme, it was focused, okay. Why? Yes, Niryat means what? Niryat means export, okay. To promote the export itself, this scheme was, yes, refocused in such a way that more and more people, they will get themselves involved into this, okay. Then the strength: a new institution, Center for Research in International Trade, is being established not only to strengthen India's research capabilities in the area of international trade, but also to enable developing countries to articulate their views and concerns from a well informed position of strength. Okay, see, when we consider the strength of this particular foreign trade policy, yes, a new institution will be established, okay. New institution research related to research, okay, which is Center for Research in International Trade. Okay, now what is the role of this institute? Yes, the role of this institute itself is to strengthen India's research capabilities in the area of international trade. Okay, in respect to international trade, Okay, how to boost up the research capabilities, okay, particularly related to this. Okay, with this, to enable the developing countries to articulate their views and concerns from a well informed position of strength. Okay, this particular foreign trade policy it was launched. Okay, then the communication, two institutional mechanisms are being put in place for regular communication with the stakeholders, the Board of Trade and the Council for Trade Development, which is commonly known as CTD, and promotion. While the Board of Trade will have an advisory role, the CTT would have representation from states and UT governments. Okay, see, when we consider communication, is it why communication is important? Yes, unless until we do have communication, unless until we do have communication, it would not be possible for the trade or any other thing to be a possible thing. Unless until there is a communication, good communication between any two institutes or anything, any two traders or any two industries, okay, the trade or anything which is planned, it will not be possible, is it? So to boost up this regular communication itself, okay, see, the communication will be established with the stakeholders, the Board of Trade and Council for Trade Development and Promotion. Okay, here the Board of Trade, what they will do, they will play a role of advisory, uh, advisor role, and the CTD, that is Council for Trade Development, yes, they would represent states and UT governments, Union Territory governments. Foreign trade policy all about? Okay, see, whenever till now we have gone through the international trade, international business, is it, international finance, okay, all these terminologies, is it? See, if a person wants to trade or have business at the international level, is it, see, there are many norms, many permissions he is supposed to consider, is it? There are different rules, regulations, is it? There are different controlling authority, there are different financial institutes, there are different supporting institutes. Okay, supporting institutes here means that, okay, there are different institutes who provide funds, who provide all the necessary things, okay, many more than funds, is it, to these people, that is individual companies and the businesses. Okay, they offer a kind of protection, a kind of support to all these people who do want to engage themselves into international trade, is it? That is, okay, some of them they are involved into the international trade for export purpose, some of them get involved themselves in import purpose, is it, for import purpose, is it? See, whenever we consider all these activities which happen in the international market, or whenever we consider the exchange rates and all those things, is it, there should be a policy, okay, there should be a policy which will be issuing guidelines to what to do and what not to do, is it? See, based on based on the transactions which happen at the international level, based on the transactions which happen on the international level, what can happen? Yes, somewhere, okay, due to the transactions which happen in the international market, yes, it does has impact in the domestic market or on the economy as a whole, is it? So whenever we consider this impact of such type of transactions or such type of changes in the international market and its impact on the country, is it, on the economy, is it, somewhere there should be some guidelines issued so that, okay, which, okay, these guidelines, if they are thoroughly followed by the people, if they are thoroughly followed by the people, then it will be, yes, it will be helpful or it will be useful for everybody. Okay, it will be useful for everybody to work on it, to follow it, is it, to know the do's and don'ts, and yes, surely it will be helpful for the economy as a whole. Because when we consider our Indian economy, yes, Indian economy is a developing economy, right? And even even we follow mixed policies, right? Okay, so due to this, what happens, yes, overall whenever there are changes in the international market, is it somewhere it does have impact on our Indian economy. So okay, for a 5-year duration, a policy is framed, is it, in which or which aims at or it does have certain objectives, is it, for example, to increase some exports, is it, because when exports are increased or whenever more amount of traders or businessmen they involve themselves into such type of international trade, is it, in such type of um, exporting, what happens, see, the excessive goods are the goods which are not frequently used by the um, residents of the country, of the economy, is it, if they are sent abroad, is it, through that the trader or the businessman, what they can do is they can earn a suitable amount of profit, is it, due to this, what happens, yes, whenever more and more traders, more and more businessmen, okay, they get themselves involved into such type of international trade and in such type of international market, what happens then, okay, when they get themselves involved in such type of international trade, in such type of international market, what happens then, yes, okay, somewhere, okay, on the transactions, yes, tax and other types of provisions they are supposed to follow it, is it, see, whenever they go on paying the taxes and all, is it, yes, the tax is a good source of revenue to the government, is it, see, when the government, is it, the government will be getting suitable amount of revenue, okay, what will happen then, yes, that revenue will be utilized for the development of infrastructural facilities, is it, overall through this cycle, is it, the economy will be benefited, okay, somewhere economic development as well as economic growth will be achieved, okay, and the related objectives and related aims which are defined, they will also be followed or they will also be achieved as well as accomplished due to this, okay. So when we consider foreign trade policy, okay, in this lecture, okay, the foreign trade policy which we are discussing, okay, it is for the duration from the year 2015 to 2020, okay. So in this particular foreign trade policy, okay, which has the duration from 2015 to 2020, is it, what are the different aims or what are the different provisions which are added into this particular foreign trade policy? The first one is, yes, India aims to increase India's export of merchandise and services, is it, and through this, yes, our country India wants to increase its share in the world's export from 2% to 3.5%. See, previously in 2013-14, okay, in 2013-14, the merchandise and services, okay, the share of our country, okay, in export of merchandise and services, it was, yes, it was dollar 465, is it, billion in 2013-14, okay, approximately. But okay, till 2019-20, okay, the aim of foreign trade policy, it was to increase it towards 900 US dollars billion, okay. Then yes, our country wants to increase its share in export, okay, in export. Whenever we consider export, what is export? Export ज्याला मराठीमध्ये निर्यात असं म्हटलं जातं, okay. Export means you send the goods of your countries or you send the goods to other countries, or you send the goods in the international market. Okay, you sell the goods outside, okay, across the boundaries of the country. Okay, and through such type of transactions, yes, you earn good amount of profits. Is it? Such type of activity, outward directed activity, is called as export. Okay, now when we consider export, is it, previously the share, okay, of a country India in the world's export, it was 2%. Okay, but by adopting this policy, okay, the foreign trade policy 2015-2020, okay, it aims to increase the export share to 3.5%. Okay, through the many of the activities which will be conducted in the international market. Okay, through the many of the activities which will be conducted in the international market. Okay, overall the aim is to increase the export share in the international market from 2% to 3.5%. Okay, getting it? Then Commerce and Industry Minister Nirmala Sitaram unveiled Foreign Trade Policy 2015-20, which seeks to provide higher incentive to agriculture industry. See, when we consider agriculture industry, yes, the primary occupation or the first occupation of our country, India, itself is agriculture. Okay, majority of the share or majority of the proportion of the population, they engage themselves into agriculture or farming. Is it? So when we consider this occupation, agriculture, when we consider agriculture sector or this industry itself, okay, as more and more people, they have engaged themselves into this activity, agriculture activity, or when we consider rural India itself, is it, the primary occupation of rural India is agriculture or farming. Okay, when we do consider agriculture or farming, whenever we do consider agriculture or farming, yes, some provisions should be made so that, okay, so that the agriculture, this sector will be uplifted. Okay, because when we consider any industry, okay, secondary industry or tertiary sector itself, okay, all the sectors, they are dependent on the agriculture sector itself, because, okay, somewhere for raw materials or many other things, many other resources, okay, the other industries, they are dependent upon the agriculture industry itself. Is it? So when the industry will be strong, okay, when the agriculture industry will be that rich ones, is it, surely the other industries will also go on progressing. Is it? So this foreign trade policy, okay, it seeks to provide higher incentive, as it means higher amount of various financial as well as other benefits to agriculture industry. Then foreign trade policy also seeks to establish an institutional framework to work with state governments to boost India's exports. Okay, see, this foreign trade policy, okay, which we are currently discussing, yes, it also seeks to establish an institutional framework to work with state governments to boost India's export. Okay, see, in collaboration with the state governments, okay, in collaboration with the state governments, is it, what is the aim? Yes, the aim is to establish an institutional framework. Is it? Yes, a framework or a setup